with a speech entitled, Who Has the Answer? Who has the answer? Charlie Wachowski!
Have you ever given someone some advice, some good advice, perhaps your best advice, only to find it being ignored? And how does that feel? Confusing, frustrating, infuriating. And what about the other way around? Has someone, in their best efforts to help you, given you some really good guidance and advice, and you've chosen to just set it to one side? I know I have. Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, very welcome guests. Let's take a few minutes to consider this issue about advice being ignored, why that happens and what we can do about it. When I'm talking about advice, I'm talking about the large and the small. I'm talking about speaking to an audience such as this, giving guidance, or having that one-to-one heartfelt dialogue. The thing is, we don't know what the state of mind of the person who we're talking to is. They could be really engaged and enthusiastic, or they could be disengaged and disillusioned. There are some clues in what we observe. The engaged and enthusiastic, like some of yourselves, eyes wide open, shining, smiling, ready and eager. The disengaged, the shoulders slump a bit, don't they? The eyes glaze. Forehead, behind which you can almost hear, go on, show me your best, give me your stuff. And then there's the third group, the fakers. Yeah, I'll definitely take your advice. No, I won't. Yeah, no, definitely, no, I won't. So if we are going to help all three of these groups, perhaps some of the traditional motivational messages need to be sent out. Out! The 5-step, 7-step, 10-step plan to success. Out! The copycat method. Do it the way that I did it because I was successful and you too can be successful. And out is a personality changer. Just become robust, resourceful and resilient and you will be successful. Why out? Seem like quite decent messages. They could work. Well, in my view, out because for every person that message inspires, there will be another person who it will disempower. And I wish I'd have known that some years ago when I was trying to help Brian. Brian was a friend of mine, young man like me with a young family. Like me also, he had a cancer he was trying to get over. But unlike me, Brian was really, really struggling. So I thought, well, I'll make it my mission, and what I'll do is I will help him, and I will give him my best advice, and I'll tell him how I'm doing it, he'll learn, and then he will get better. And Brian didn't take my advice. And Brian died. You see, the issue is, I was trying to flog Brian my route map to success, and he needed his own. And I should have known, and I could have known, because when I was given advice, I was similarly scathing about it. They say to you, to get over cancer, you get your white blood cells going. And the best way to do that is to imagine them like little soldiers running around your body, armed to the teeth. No. The problem is, I'm a Buddhist. I don't do shooting. So not only was that advice unhelpful, it also made me feel like a failure because I couldn't act on it. So I had to work out my own way. And my own way was less machine guns and machetes and more mantras and meditations. And it seemed to do the trick. So if that way, the traditional motivational message doesn't work, what do we do? How can we help? Two things. Firstly, we acknowledge. We acknowledge whatever the issue the person in front of us is going through is difficult and is challenging. Think how you feel when someone says to you, wow, that must be really tough. That must be really difficult. Acknowledge. And secondly, we give people space. Space to explore, space to reflect, and space to change. We do that by asking questions and listening. We do that by not interrupting. And we do that by dampening down our story so that their story can emerge. Acknowledgement and space, two things to allow people to see that we don't have the answer for them, they have the answers themselves. Fellow Toastmasters, there are many times when I like to share my opinions and tell my stories, and I'm sure you do too. But there are also other times when going down the step of acknowledgement and space will help people find their own answers. I'm really aware there's a paradox in what I'm saying, because what am I doing today? I'm giving you some advice not to give advice. Take it or leave it, it's my view. Some of you will, some of you won't. You will know what is the right thing to do. But let's remember what Oscar Wilde said to us about how we approach these things. Oscar Wilde said, just be yourself, because everyone else has already been taken.